Eagles! Eagles!
Hey, Eagles fans, it's Ray. It's my video for week 3 of the NFL season. A little late. Wanted to do it earlier in this week, but I've been kind of busy lately, so didn't really get a chance to sit down and make a video. Having a bad hair day, so I got the hat on. I look like Andy Reid. I got the current hat on with the throwback on. If you saw the game against the Packers, Andy was wearing his regular hat and not the throwback hat, so he looked kind of goofy. But that being said, let's get to week 3 of the NFL season. The Eagles are traveling down to Jacksonville Stadium. Eagles fans know all too well. They haven't won there yet. They haven't beaten the Jaguars yet either. Since the Jacksonville Jaguars came into the league, they're 0-3 against them. Hopefully this week they can break that trend and get their first victory down there. And they don't ever seem to win in Florida. People can remind me of some games, but it seems like recent history, and I'm not talking about like way back. I mean, they've won some games in Florida, but it seems like recent history they haven't had much success against teams in Florida. I mean, I remember a Tampa Bay game a few years ago where they came back on a Brian Westbrook. I think it was a screen pass. He just went right down the field and scored, and then the defense, we thought, held the Buccaneers, but a Matt Bryant 62-yard field goal beat them on the last second. I remember that game. That was not a good feeling after that. But I think they break that trend this week. They're a better team than the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's not saying much, Eagles fans. I mean, the Eagles are okay. They're not great, but this should be a win. They should be 2-1 coming home to face the Washington Redskins in week 4, but we'll get to the Redskins later. We want to talk about Eagles made some minor news this week, some minor headlines. They said Kevin Kolb was their starting quarterback, and then they switched gears 24 hours later, or less than 24 hours later, and said that Michael Vick would be their starting quarterback not only this week, but for the remainder of the season. I don't know if you heard about this news. It was kind of under the radar, but I'm kind of surprised at this for 2 reasons. Number one, Kevin Kolb played a horrible half against the Green Bay Packers. There's no denying that. But the rest of the team didn't play all that well either. They stupid penalties. They dropped some passes. Kevin Kolb overthrew some guys or missed some guys. And the offensive line, of course, played terrible. I've been saying this for 2 weeks now. And that being said, because the offensive line has not played well at all, I think Michael Vick is the right choice for now for this team. And the reason why I say that is his elusiveness kind of helps break out of all those rushers. I mean, he can get away from them. He can break out of tackles and get the ball downfield. Kevin Kolb's more of a pocket passer. He needs protection. If he's protected, he can be precise with his passes, get the ball out quickly, and move the ball downfield, whereas Michael Vick makes things happen with his feet. And I know people don't want to say that. People are like, oh, that's a stereotype, but it's true. He makes things happen with his feet. I mean, whenever he starts running around behind the line of scrimmage, you have to wonder, is he going to throw or is he going to pass? And that kind of throws defenses off. They don't know what to do. But I still don't agree with this decision. I think that we don't know what we have with Kolb. People are saying that he's going to get traded by the trade deadline. They're saying it's a sure thing. He's going to Cleveland. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. The Eagles said that they're not even listening to any trade offers. And I don't know how you can believe them anymore. I mean, they just flat out lied to our faces this week. But it is what it is. Let's not get all overly excited. I'm hearing, oh, they're winning the NFC East. I'm hearing they're winning the NFC. I'm hearing they're going to the Super Bowl because the NFC is wide open. I'm hearing all these things. I'm not saying them because, to be honest, I'm not completely sold on this team. Okay, they almost beat the Green Bay Packers. Well, almost wins don't count in the NFL. And then they beat the Lions, but the Lions are what they are. They're going to have another top 5 pick in the draft this year. Let's slow down, not get too excited because the Detroit Lions are the Detroit Lions. They're 0-2 for a reason. They're probably going to finish 4-12, and we're saying the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl based off a victory over the Detroit Lions. When this team plays a good team and they beat a legitimately good team, maybe then I'll say, you know, they've got a shot. But they've already proven they can't beat the Green Bay Packers. And the Green Bay Packers are a team that many picked to go to the Super Bowl. The Saints are 2-0, they're the defending champions. And again, they're another team people are predicting to go to the Super Bowl. So when this team beats those legitimately good teams, I'll buy into that Super Bowl argument. But right now, I still say they're 9-7 at best. Maybe 10-6 if they're lucky. Maybe Michael Vick can get them a victory. Maybe the Cowboys still play as bad as they've been playing, which I still am not sold on. I don't think that the Cowboys are as bad as they've looked. If they beat these legitimately good teams, I'll start believing that argument. But right now, their defense hasn't looked good, their offensive line hasn't looked good, and their special teams is getting better, but their special teams haven't looked that good. And Michael Vick is not going to be the reason they get to the Super Bowl, and he's not going to be the reason they don't get to the Super Bowl either. There's other reasons. And we've already learned this from the past 10 years. One guy cannot get you to the Super Bowl. We had McNabb for all those years, and he only got us to one Super Bowl. So what makes people think that Michael Vick all of a sudden is going to get us to the Super Bowl? He's one guy. There's other issues on this team. There's other problems with this team. They win this weekend. They go to 2-1. They come home against the Redskins. We'll see. The Redskins are the first team since the Packers that they play that I think is actually a legitimately good team in the NFL. We'll see where they stand after that game. That's all I wanted to talk about. Thanks for watching again, and again, subscribe. I make videos at least once a week, maybe twice a week, depending on how I feel and how busy I am. It's kind of a busy time for me right now, but I wanted to make the video, and hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you agree. If you disagree, you know, maybe you can leave some comments. But that's all I wanted to say. Let's go Birds. Let's get that victory. Let's go to 2-1, and let's get ready for Hate Week.